I probably may need to plug in those headphones. Okay. Channel. I need to do one thing. And it's probably plug those headphones in. That didn't change it. So what I may have to do is turn down. Why is it called PS? Oh wait. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit so my headphones don't capture. Well, no, I mean, so my microphone don't capture all of the audio. I know Roger is probably waiting. I keep forgetting that I won't even be able to see. Roger. Okay, let me. That's if he's available. Let me see. See something. Okay, is that him? I think that's him. Yeah. All right. Looks like I'm going first. Guess I don't need these. A few things. There we go. Okay. Ooh. He doesn't have it. I could get that out, huh? Couldn't I? Technically, you could. Yeah. I could send one to the graveyard. All right, let's see how this goes, chat. What could he be possibly doing? You can only activate that once per turn. Let's just stop it. Yeah. That's a suck. I gotta get him the fuck out of here, chap. Yeah. I know he doesn't like seeing that. Well, I'll go for the kill here. This should be a easy little walk. Who should go to the banish zone? She should. No one else is needed. You're on limited time, Roderick. One spell or trap. How about we just get you out of here? How about that? Oh, that has to suck. Look who showed up. The mighty U-Bell. It's over. Dark magic attack. He's out of there. Man, get him the fuck out of here. That's one down. That's one round. On to round two to get Roger out of here for good. By the way, chat, if y'all here in the YouTube chat or on the Twitch chat, I cannot see comments right now. I have a full screen. Master Duel is full screen right now, so I can't see. Oh, he gets to go first. Yo, this is what he's been waiting on, though. But I gotta show you why going first doesn't always guarantee a win. Oh, he better be thankful I didn't go first. That'd be a game. It's kind of cold in here. I'm going for a fusion. I know what he's going for. He's going for Kyberman. Interesting. So I know what he has back there already. It's just a matter of time of bringing it the fuck out. Okay. So that middle card is gonna be his fusion card. One of these are gonna be what's a face. So we have quite the decision to make. I just gotta guess right. Okay. Let's see what we can do. So I know what's the name is sitting back there. The question is, this is what we'll do. Force him to use Nightmare Throne. I mean, force him to use my deck. Well, this is gonna be bad for him. Doesn't know it yet. We'll add Spirit of U-Bell to our hand. He just fucked it up for himself. Now either he knows my hand because he's watching. Yeah, he watching. That didn't make a lot of sense. What's he doing? Fool. This is where I will prevail. Okay. It's time to do our thing, which should be So it begins. Got his ass. Oh man, she about to hate life right now. That ain't gonna matter. Light imprisoning mirror has been activated. He won't get any of his effects now. He's screwed. And he knows it. I'm about to walk his ass down. Oh man, this sucks. They don't have effects anymore, so this should be easy. Let's see how he walks himself out of this with no effects. Yeah, light imprisoning mirror, man. He can't use none of his effects right now, and I know that sucks. He'll go charging into battle. And this is where he fucks up. This is where he goes fucking up. I'll take that. You can't stop me. There's nothing he can do right now. No, don't no, don't set it. That's fine with me. He realized now he should have waited. Ain't nothing he can do at this point. I'm about to screw this nigga over. He knows it. Next turn it's over with. To do what? You have no effects. Oh, that's what he had. He can try, but nothing's gonna work. Light imprisoning mirror. Man, take a look at this. You little bitch. She's still a light. So he went and got Goddess. That ain't gonna save you. All you did was piss me off more. He trying. Now I'm gonna kill you. Just for doing that. You little shit. Listen up, buddy. This duel is over with. Actually, hell, I could have waited. Oh man, it's a sad day for him, man. Very sad day. Walk him down. Man, if only he had like a harpy's feather duster or something, man. That would be the only thing that could possibly save his ass right about now. You can normal summon all you like. Yeah. He's only gonna special summon another blue eyes white dragon. That's not gonna save him from destruction. Oh, I'm sure he's mad. Oh, he about to talk mash. Chad, he about to talk crazy. He about to talk mad crazy. Oh, I'm not gonna hear the end of this. He left the room. Hey, man. He used to use Dark Imprisoning Mirror on me, right? However, the game's changed, chat. The game has changed. I was eating Pops. Is Lakeisha still here? I'm back. So I just defeated Roderick, and I'm pretty sure right now he's blowing my phone up as we speak. And I was eating Pops cereal. Oh, I know he's pissed. I know he's pissed. I used Dark Imprisoning Mirror. I used Dark Imprisoning Mirror on Roderick. And trust me, the effect on that card is it negates all face up. It negates the effects of all light monsters on the field and in the graveyard. His archetype is light. My archetype is dark monsters. So, none of his monsters, whether on the field or in the graveyard, could use their effects. Which, and effects in Yu-Gi-Oh! Play a major part. I mean, they make up for 95% of the game. Everything runs off an effect. And since he couldn't activate any of his effects, he couldn't get anything going. He couldn't, he had no way out of that. I slowed him down completely. I stopped him. So what he was going to do, I know what he's going to do. Look, he's texting me. He's texting my phone. Let me see something. He's probably talking cash shit. You lame for putting that card in your deck, but GG's. Hey, man, I learned from the best. He used to run Dark Imprisoning Mirror. Didn't you used to run? He used to run Dark Imprisoning Mirror, though. Which is it's just the, GG's. GG's, man. By the way, that was in there. His monsters couldn't activate their effect because I used light imprisoning mirror, and it does. The card does exactly what it says it does. It imprisons light. It traps it, right? So he wasn't able to do anything. He wasn't able to do his usual, sort of say, right? He wasn't able to do his little, he wasn't able to get his thing going. And he's quite upset with that. He'll be all right, though, chat. He gonna cry in the car. I thought maybe he was gonna be stream sniping me, where he was just watching my stream. However, he wasn't. Where's Lakeisha? She ain't even saying nothing, chat. She found a man, chat. That's what happened. I need to have him get my what's the name so I can get these sound effects going. Give it up for Lakeisha, chat. She found her man. It has been a while, chat. How do I take this off of here? It says, welcome to chat live. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Yeah. I gotta teach my niece how to take pictures, man. She'd be drowning herself in filters, man. She don't need to drown herself in filters. This little nigga here, Kenyon Heights, look like my nephew. That's crazy. This one guy said, I don't give a fuck what y'all say about Chat GPT. I'm going to use that shit. Well, then use it, my nigga. Where is Lakeisha? Man, LeBron been terrorizing people, teams for years. That's why they upset. That's why they mad, man. I don't know how I feel after eating that bowl of cereal. I don't feel like the best, though. Make sure my volume working. Okay, it's working. This girl is just laughing at my comment. What is your problem? But yeah. What is she eating? I like her sweater though. Bro, I need to get another battery for my mouse because it's like dying. Let's close out Instagram. You're back? Where have you been, bro? Did you get you a man? Chat, I think Lakeisha got her a man. And they be sleeping together and stuff. It's been a while, man. I had to get this stream going. It's just something that had to happen. I had to pop in and show my face. I just got rid of Roger, man. I don't think he's very happy right now with how he just lost. He was upset because I used Dark Imprisoning Mirror. And again, the card does exactly what it says. I always keep a couple of men. I knew it. That's how you're supposed to do it, though. You're supposed to keep a couple of men. There you go. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Give it up for Lakeisha. Wait till I get my device that allows me to, input the sound effects and stuff like that. I was gonna give you a round of applause. Kudos to you for for having you a couple of men. Chad. Chad, y'all, I wasn't supposed to show y'all this video, man, but I'm showing y'all this video anyways, man. Y'all gotta see this shit. So a few days ago, your boy Andrew, right? Your boy Andy Savage went to a Astros game, right? Your boy went to an Astros game. He went to an Astros game with his new little chick, Now, check this out. As of June, early June, or the case is, him and his girlfriend of 6 years split, right? She moved out of his apartment, moved into her own apartment. They were supposed to call things off. However, as I've explained to Andrew and many other of my friends, that although you might end a relationship verbally or you might leave physically or whatever the case is, the spiritual or the emotional attachment always remains, right? And so you have to do the hidden work or the occult work to make sure you sever that emotional or that spiritual cord. Because if you don't, a person will attach, or they've already grown attached to you, through sacred energy exchange, sex, right? Or simply by spending time, or just proximity and things like that, So there's all types of ways that you can get attached to a person. However, they've been together for quite some time, and you wanted to call it quits. Demi spent a lot of her time fighting. Wait, I got a text message somewhere. Demi spent a lot of her time fighting. You gonna stay rage quitting after tonight. Enjoy that, my boy. Roger is upset with me right now. He's not excited. But I need to show y'all this video, right? And let me see where it's at. Andrew went to he went to the Astros baseball game, right? But the crazy part is, man, Andrew got put on the kiss cam, right? So I'm gonna show y'all the video. And see, this is why I wish I could damn near be with him every weekend, because he actually, a lot of shit that happens to him, one of the cases is this is it's so clip worthy, right? And I just hate I wasn't there to pretty much capture that moment. So give me 1 second. I gotta be careful, because although I wanted to just screen share, there are certain things in my phone or on my Mac that is not safe for stream. There's titties and ass in this phone. So let's see. Videos. Definitely can't be just walking in, going to videos and shit. So, okay, so here's what I'll do. First thing I'll do, so y'all gotta see this shit though. Okay, who's all here? So check this shit out though, chat. So check this out. Hold on. Let me get y'all in on the screen share, right? So let me just close that out, right? Check this out though. So and again, this is at the Astros game. This happened Friday, right? So this happened Friday. So this is a screen record. Someone sent this to him, right? Because he's in the crowd, right? So check this out. Listen to the audio. All right, check this out. Right here, chat. Right here, right? This is Andrew. This is Andy Savage, right? Look at that boy. People, peep his shirt open though. Who you think he is? Who the nigga think he is, chat? And this is his lovely new friend, right? They've been seeing each other, I don't know, maybe roughly over a week or two or something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't know the history. I don't know the background. I don't know all the details behind this. However, again, this is Andy Savage, right? And chat, this is why, look, if you are seeing someone new, or if you're seeing someone in general and you're just not ready for the entire world or your personal family and friends, you know, to know what you got going on, I don't think you should ever go to a baseball game. I rarely see the NBA, NFL kiss cams, right? However, you don't want to go to a baseball game. You don't want to go to an Astros baseball game. You don't want to go to those regular or early season games, right? Because there is a chance you'll end up on the kiss cam, and then, hey, all the business you wanted to keep to yourself, you wanted to keep private, you are now at risk to be exposed. And check this out, though. So I'm gonna take this back. I want you to look at the reaction on Andy's face, right? The moment he realizes he's on a fucking kiss cam. I'm posting this on TikTok. Look at that boy. Hey, yo, read his lips. Hey, look. Can I zoom in? Can I fucking zoom in? I should be able to, right? Hold on, chat. Let me try to do something for y'all real quick. Can I zoom in? Oh, I can. So check this out, chat. I want y'all to read his lips, right? He says, "Oh shit," right? Hey, listen to the audio. Listen to the audio. Listen to the audio. So when he turns in to kiss her, right? Listen to what the person who's recording saying. Listen to what they're saying. It's on TikTok. Chat. No, fuck that. We gotta watch it again. Hold on. Look at that boy's face. Look. He said, "Oh shit." Let's check out his hottie though. Ooh, she got the glasses on. She got the lipstick going. She got the dad hat, the baseball with the curved brim, the dad hat on. You know what I'm saying? She looking real sophisticated. She looks really hot. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, right? And then look at your boy here, man. When he realizes his ass is on the kiss cam. Now look, Andrew attends these baseball games regularly, right? So he attends very often. This is the shit he does on the fucking weekend. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a boss and shit at work. He, went to University of Houston and stuff like that. He got his degree. I can't really tell you exactly what he does. I just know this nigga lays out the blueprint, sits behind the computer, walks over the site, does this, makes sure this, that, and I don't know. He just does a lot of shit, right? However, on weekends, typically you'll catch Andrew at the fucking Astros game. That's just the shit he does, right? However, over the last 6 years, Andrew has been attending these baseball games, if not by himself, if not accompanied by Jordan. Shout out to Jordan. Or, maybe his sister. He goes with Demi. Now I gotta let y'all in on this shit, chat. He's gonna be fucking pissed at me when he finds out, right? Because he didn't want me to put this on the stream. I'm putting this shit on the stream because it's already out. Fuck it, it's already out. I'm milking this shit. However, they're shooting outside, by the way, chat. I am in the hood. However, so Andrew normally, right? He attends these baseball games, these Astro games. If not by himself, he attends these Astro games with Demi. it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. If you decide, if you're talking to someone, you know, or if you're courting or whatever the case is, or you're dating, and you just don't want the entire world to know, or you just don't want to risk close friends, family members, or even an ex. You don't want to risk them finding out. I don't think you should ever go to a baseball game, especially a regular season baseball game. Because if you can look closely, right? If you guys look real closely, right? Look at all those empty fucking seats. So I'm thinking whenever they're just, you know, scanning through the crowd with these cameras, right? I'm pretty sure you probably have a very high chance at being broadcast or being featured on the Kiss Cam. And in a situation where you just want to avoid that and don't want shit like this to get out, it's simple. You just don't put yourself in this position. Now I gotta get back to the chat, but we're gonna watch this shit one more time. Hold on, chat. Cause I gotta. There's more to this shit. Look at that boy. Well, cat's out the fucking bag. Whoops, y'all wasn't supposed to see that. I told y'all there's stuff in here y'all aren't supposed to see, but y'all saw it. Oh well. And in fact, that's you a bitch for playing like that. I got you, nigga. Oh, so you mad? So wait a minute. Roger is talking shit in the chat. Well, he ain't here no more. Anyways, I know not to tell you anything. Just putting his business out all in the streets. It's not all in the streets. It's actually all over the web. Where did Lakeisha go? It says she's not here. We'll wait for her to get back. Okay, she's back. I don't think I have commercials set up on YouTube. Chat, if y'all saw anything in my photo album, I want to apologize, but fuck all that. I told y'all there was stuff in my photo album that just shouldn't. I mean, it's just there. I mean, I can't apologize for it. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm looking at it now. There was nothing super crazy in there. I'm looking at it now. As far as I can see, there was nothing like totally crazy in there. Well, except for my like half nude ex, one of my exes. I didn't leave. Oh, well, happy to have you here. But anywho, back to your comment. You know not to tell me anything. Listen, I wouldn't air out your personal business. And then honestly, I told Andrew that potentially I was gonna do this. I wanted to talk about this on stream. Because however, I'll have you know. While this is taking place, right? So while Andrew is being featured on the Kiss Cam. Oh, let me fix this. While Andrew is being featured on the Kiss Cam, here's what he didn't know. Demi was there. Demi was there, right? Demi was there. So, in front of hundreds of Astro fans, not only did they see this, right? Not only did people at home who were watching the game, not only did they see it, but Demi was there, and she had field seats. She was at that game. And let me tell you about Big Mama, because I nicknamed her Big Mama. Demi is not in any way big in terms of size, right? Demi is fit. She's about 5'3". She's a Latina, woman, of Mexican descent, by the way. Let me tell you, because I got the story from Andrew. Hopefully she was there with her new guy. No, she wasn't there with her new guy. I have to explain something to you, chat. when I was cheating for 5 of the 6 years I was with, this woman, she didn't leave. She didn't have a side nigga. They don't leave when you cheat. They don't leave when you cheat. They do everything but leave, in fact. And I understand it at this point. I don't truly understand the psychology of a woman. I probably never will. I don't want to. However, hell, no one ever will. What I can say is, when I reflect, right, when I really think on all the relationships that I've had and all the shit that I've done, I can tell you the majority of relationships I was in, I did the cheating. I was the cheater. And what I can tell you is, it's just funny. Is that what I realized is that a lot of those girls I was cheating on with, they did everything but leave. They never left. I can tell you now about relationships that ended. These girls left, whatever the case is, but, some of the most recent relationships I've been in, whatever the case is, girls didn't leave because I cheated. They left because I wasn't cheating. It's odd. It's one of those things that a lot of people who have experienced it would definitely agree. But anyways, Demi wasn't there with her new guy. Demi was there with, I believe, her sister or one of her homegirls. Because Demi hasn't moved on from Andrew. Even if she was seeing another guy, whatever the case, I'm going to tell you right now. When you are the person who is, I want to say, emotionally attached, right? When you are emotionally attached to a person and you're not the one who left the relationship, a lot of times you don't have the strength to actually deal with another person. You don't. You long and you mourn and you grieve the loss of the other person. And all you think about, all you focus on is that person. So I'm here to tell you, Demi, for instance, she never she didn't attend the game with any other man. She wasn't. Because in her heart, she believes her and Drew can still be together and it's possible for them to work things out. So the last thing she's going to be seen doing, especially in a public space like that, at a very popular setting, is be seen with another guy. Because the little hope that she feels remains, she knows that's, it's a possibility that if she got caught, it'll be over. I think the total opposite, though. I think if Andrew saw her with somebody else, this attitude of not caring or just wanting her to move on, I think it would be a totally different story. Even when I broke things off with some of my exes, I didn't always take too well of them being with somebody else. I probably didn't say nothing, but it's not something I was actually at home cheering for or fucking happy about. It's because, honestly, it's just I too had an attachment to my ex, and it's just no guy really likes the idea, if you're at a certain point, though, but if you're at a certain level of consciousness, there's this and there's that. But no regular guy likes the idea of his woman submitting, right? And when I say submitting, I mean as far as her, giving it up, whatever the case is. No guy likes the idea of his woman submitting to another man. No man likes the idea of any woman he's with. Really, any woman he's been with. Where did Lakeisha go? It always says she disappears for a second, so who knows? Hopefully she was there with her new guy, though. And she wasn't, though. She can't just move on like that. For one, as I advised her to actually, just accept she was getting ready to separate. And that this would actually benefit her because now she's in solitude. But I know there's always hell before there's peace when it comes to all this. This is no easy task, right? It's not easy to sit with yourself, by yourself, after you've been under someone for so long, right? When you have to sit with yourself, whatever the case is, you no longer have any distractions. And everything comes to surface because it's quiet now. Now you can, you get this clarity, right? Shit becomes clear. And a lot of things that becomes clear is shit that you don't want to see. A lot of things that becomes visible, you don't want to see that. You don't want to face that shit. So a lot of people then they go out and then they search to be with someone else very quickly without doing the work, without doing the healing. And a lot of times that shit backfires. They actually end up in the same situation just with a different person. You got to do the work. My job is, my thing is, I actually discussed this with Demi. I'll never forget the day. It was January the 11th. It was the night before. It was the night before. Andrew got ready to run his half marathon downtown Houston. While I was there, before we even got the chance to lay down, and I spent the night over there, they pretty much laid everything out. They were pretty much not necessarily arguing, but they were it was pretty much an argument, right? So everything got brought up before me, the cheating and everything, like it was all laid out. So she was aware of everything. She made me aware. She made me aware of the fights that they had, but they weren't like really fights. They were just tussling. Like it wasn't no Andrew just was hitting her or something like that. No, she was putting her hands on him, and Andrew has to defend himself, by wrestling her and just by trying to basically, restrain her and stuff like that. And this shit happened. So it was just one of those, right? But it was all laid out in front of me. So I was made aware, right? I was there to bear witness to, things that that they had been pretty much dealing with each other. And, I let them get everything out, and then, I had to ask, like, so could I give a suggestion? And I actually posed the question too. So it's just like, well, Demi, with this information that if he's cheating, or if you suspect he's cheating, if you're not happy with the things he's doing, then then why don't you leave, right? Why don't you prepare yourself to depart, right? Why don't you prepare to leave, right? Because at this point, what's the point? It sounds like you're hurt, of course, what the case is, but you want to work things out. But what I see is a person who doesn't really respect themselves enough either, though. Because I was with a woman for 5-6 years, and she didn't leave when I was doing all that cheating, but it got brought up all the goddamn time, and that gets annoying. Because, bitch, if I'm a cheater, if I'm the worst person in the world, then why are you still here? Of course, I didn't want her to leave, no. Because in my heart of heart and what I knew at the time, I was cheating, but I still loved her, though. Like, I wasn't going to leave her for another woman. And I felt like I had my reasons to cheat, or whatever the fuck that means, right? I had my reason to go sleep with other women. And it was because I wasn't getting what I was supposed to be getting from her anyways. And now she's 34. Well, she's not 34, but she's 32. She should understand that now, that you can't just be with a man. Well, it's not about me, so we're not going to get into all that. But anyways, it was all laid out in front of me, or whatever the case is. And, after they said everything they needed to say, I told Andrew, or whatever the case is, just to give her time and let this process play itself out. And, continue doing everything you're doing, and maybe y'all should refrain from having sex. Because that's only going to intensify the discord that y'all have. That's pretty much linking those two together, whatever the case is. So you have to cut back on routine. So if y'all having sex twice a week, you need to cut it down to one. Because overall, you got to get to a point where you just stop having sex. You can't be having sex and she's on her way out. And I don't really think they were having sex as much, right? And if it wasn't something he just really cared to do. hate seeing all that, but I understand. Like when I'm the observer, I'm just that. I'm just the observer. My job is just to spectate, just to view without intervening. Because I'm watching to learn. There's something I need to learn from this too, though. Right? And so that's just the position. That's the role that I play. And I told her whatever the case is. I've talked to Demi one-on-one because the morning of the marathon, me and Demi, after Andrew got prepared and I shot some content of him getting ready and getting, ready to go. I was back at the crib with Demi and we were, preparing to go grab coffee and then make our way, to the marathon to go watch the runners. And I've explained to Demi that what I would be able to do as an occultist, I would be able to give her rituals, spells, and things like that she could do in order to break the cord cutting. Now, I only offer this, I only speak of that in one conversation. Once I talk to a person, once I tell a person what they can do in situations like that, once I give them these occult methods, whatever the case is, that's it. I'm not gonna tell them again. And I laid it down pretty solid to her about why this just needed to happen. She was gonna be able to take her time, find her own place, whatever the case is, and then ultimately move out. But I know better than anyone that, because I've learned my lesson, is that just because you and one person, y'all separate physically, it doesn't mean that you two have separated spiritually. Y'all are still tied together through through an emotional cord. And that's not easy. That's no easy thing to sever. And it takes real work. I know all too well. And although I can't go word for word, I can't pretty much recite everything that I told Demi that day, I know I was able to share enough wisdom with her, whatever the case is, to ultimately help her. But that's the thing. People have to want to help themselves. Demi was, and still is, she was very, very, she was very stuck on catching him, even though she's caught him. She's caught him enough to be convinced that, okay, like, clearly he's cheating on you, but what more proof do you want? What else are you looking to see? Right? I guess she needed more convincing. How much more did he need to convince you that he was seeing other women? You knew this. And that leads from January up until now, it leads up to this point. But anyways, again, Demi was there in the crowd and she happened to see that. What happens next is Andrew gets home. He gets into his garage because he lives in a high-rise downtown. And so they have a parking garage. He gets into the parking garage, and I forget how he explains it, but basically he sees Demi pulling into the parking garage. And what happens next is insane. He's with the girl that he was at the game with, and Andrew knows that Demi is coming. She's pulling into the garage, but by this time I think Andrew's on the third floor. And Demi, he sees Demi pulling into the garage. He sees her. He immediately instructs the girl to go into the elevator and go up to the 6th floor, go to his apartment, and retrieve her things. Here's the thing though about Andrew's apartment. Andrew's apartment, where the case is, in order to get to his apartment, there's 2 ways. There's staircase and then there's elevator. However, and most people take the elevator. You know, why would you want to take the staircase up to the 6th floor? But even to access the staircase, there is a door that you have to get through. And in order to open that door, you have to have there's like a sensor key that allows you to have access to the elevator, and then also access to the staircase. And then there's a separate sensor key that allows you to enter the apartment. The girl, who hadn't been over there many times, or whatever the case is, she heeds his instructions, right? So she goes to the elevator. She makes it to the elevator, right? The elevator is going to open once you press the button. However, once you get into the elevator, in order to close the elevator and to make your way to a certain floor, you then have to take one of the sensor keys and you have to actually place it next to this sensor that's inside the elevator in order for it to shut and then take you where you need to go. The girl got into the elevator and she didn't know what to do. She couldn't figure out, because there's 2 keys. There's 2 sensor keys. There's one for the apartment, the door to the apartment, and there's one for the elevator. She didn't know which key to use. It's even confused me before. Like, I've had to take the keys before and go and do this, or whatever the case is, and then I couldn't remember. Like, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, there's 2 keys, but you just, sometimes you forget, like, hey, there's 2 keys, and you're just stuck at one of the doors, and you're like, what the fuck? I need to get in here. Like, why isn't the key working? Because you're probably using the wrong key. So, where the key should go? Oh man. I'm back. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, y'all, I've been resting. Okay, I have been gathering a lot of energy lately to prepare for something that really, I know it has a lot to do with death. I think maybe someone in my family is getting ready to make a transition. It doesn't feel as heavy, so whoever it is probably somebody I'm related to, of course, but the energy doesn't feel as heavy because we're not that close. Whoever it is, though, they're getting ready to make the transition soon in the family, and their own spirit has a way of letting me know, and I know these things because I purposely take time away from certain things, take time off and away from certain things. And I always feel it coming before it happens. Now, if it's my mom, cool, kudos. I've been waiting for mom to make the transition anyways. That's good. That'll be great for my mom to make the transition. You know, she can do whatever the fuck she wants in the spirit world. I just feel like I need to get that out. But, you know, usually before these things happen, one of the symptoms of that is like I just, you know, I get these moments where I just feel tired, you know, and it could be me just taking on the spirit or the case, and maybe the spirit itself is just tired, you know. So whoever that is getting ready to make the transition, you know, I got you, I got you doing your transition. Make sure you transition the way you need to. Roger is still talking shit. Roger. Anyways. But yeah. So, you know, that's how that happened. But okay, so I forget. So anyways, so Andrew instructs her, where the case is, to go to the elevator and, you know, make it to the apartment and then ultimately retrieve her things, right? So boom, she gets on the elevator, but she can't figure out which key is needed in order to pretty much activate that sensor and get the elevator going. So bam, she's stuck. But Andrew doesn't know this because he's anticipating Demi, getting out the car and it's about to go down. Remember, Demi was at the game. Andrew doesn't become aware of this until after the fact, right? After he gets till he gets home. So next thing you know, Demi gets out of the car, whatever the case is, and it's just she charges towards Andrew and she starts whooping his ass. Now this is coming from Andrew. This is coming from him, and I know he's not lying because Demi has fought him. Demi has hands. She throws down. Demi is from Houston, Texas, or should I say Demi is from H-Town, Texas. I knew Demi was about that life because she knew the most CD Dawn freestyle word for fucking word. And then even before that, there was always subtle hints. I was like, she a real H-Town gal. You know what I'm saying? She really one of them. I'm not really sure which side she from, whether that's north side, south side, southeast, southwest, But, however, she definitely from the H. And Andrew, my boy Drew isn't. My boy Andrew isn't from the H. However, he's lived in Houston, so it's second home to him. But hey, he ran into he had him one of them ones. You might look at her and just assume she's crazy because of the shit she do. Nah, it's just, to me, I just understand that's just a woman's nature. That she can be crazy like that. I'm not gonna get into everything. However, I'm gonna save that for another conversation because I'm gonna need to get Andy Savage into this on this stream, whatever the case is, so he can actually recite verbatim, everything that pretty much went on that day at the Astros, from the Astros game, from the time he got caught on the damn kiss cam to the point leading up to his brawl with Demi. Because he called me and told me, and I know he's not lying because listen, before he actually told me the story about what happened, I have Demi on Instagram, and Demi did post in her private story, or whatever the case is, that, looked like she was talking about how she had, basically she was suffering from some type of injury or whatever the case is. Me not knowing, I don't know what the fuck happened or what was going on, so I couldn't make much of it. I'm thinking, it could be anything, right? People deal with things. Whole entire time, it was because, her and Andrew got into their little, I don't know, maybe he could have accidentally injured her, or she could have accidentally injured herself while she was really on the attack, fucking Andrew up. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, did she ever make it up the elevator to make it to the apartment to get to the girl? From what I understand, she never gets, her and the girl, whatever the case is, they never, she never gets to the point where she attacks the girl. And if Demi, if you're listening right now, I'm glad you didn't, because honestly, that wouldn't have been right. I don't think it wasn't right for you either to go after Andrew, but I get it. But at the same time, like, I never want any of my friends to be in situations where they could potentially get hurt or hurt somebody else that they care about. But when they have to defend themselves, they have to defend themselves. And I would always want him to defend himself in situations, when he has to, right? Even at the cost of someone's life. Like, by any means, don't let nobody fuck with you. However, I think he handled it the way he was supposed to handle it. I don't know all the details. However, Andrew gave me his side, and it sounded pretty fucking believable to me, because he said you got to whooping his ass. He said the way he described it is Demi came in like she's pissed. He knows she's coming. He was already anticipating her making it to his floor, right, the third floor where he parks at in the parking garage. He was anticipating her making it there and then getting out the car, but the way he told me when she got out the car, man, it was literally no words. She walked to Andrew and started whooping his ass. Now, as he's telling me this over the phone, I'm fucking laughing because I've heard this story. I've heard a similar story before of her beating up Andrew. And honestly, it's just nothing more funny to me, honestly, than hear about my boys getting beat up by their women. However, none of them get beat up. Andrew just happened to get beat up this once, and he just knew it was coming. You might ask yourself, so isn't Demi like isn't she pretty much out of pocket, right? For actually, heading, coming to Drew's apartments to fight him because she saw him at a baseball game and he was kissing another girl. Like, they're not together, so why be upset? Well, see, that's the thing, though. And I got to say this. And this is the same thing I told Andrew. Demi has no right to be upset. Because actually, she's been orbiting Andrew, right? When you think about something or someone, when you pretty much obsess over them, and I know this because I've done this personally, right? What happens is they will manifest. They will manifest. When you are daydreaming, when you are thinking about someone, those thoughts, all that exists in a realm called the spirit realm or the dream world, where the case is, or the realm of what you call the imagination. When you hold that thought of someone for a period of time, right? What happens is that thought becomes so strong, so powerful that it manifests. And since she's still attached to him because she has not done the work, she has not done the work of severing her emotions, that emotional attachment she has to him, whatever the case is, this is the type of shit that you run into. She has a profound knowing because a lot of times when women go through breakups or when people go through breakups, period, their psychic abilities, or whatever the case is, they literally magnify. She can literally feel when he's doing something. They'll call her crazy, whatever the case is, but she'll just know. And she'll go out of her way, whatever the case is, to go find out what the fuck is actually going on. And the thing is, even if she doesn't find what she thinks she's going to or what she's looking for, she's going to find something, right? So in this situation, Demi has been showing up to Andrew's apartment prior to showing up to the baseball game, right? She had been showing up to the apartment unannounced a few times, but they've also been seeing each other since they both split. And I asked Andrew, once I was just like, are you still seeing Demi? He's like, yeah, Well, actually, I didn't have to ask him because we were playing the game before, and I thought I heard a female's voice in the background, and I was like, is that Demi? He was like, that's Demi. He's like, yeah, I'm at her place. I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, if y'all are split up, but see, the thing is, I understand this though. I understand that. I told him, I said, bro, even if y'all split up, y'all still gonna see each other, bro. That's just how shit goes. Like, even though you want Demi out, you want to end things where the case is, you're still gonna wake up some days and you're gonna want to just go see Demi. I know how this shit works. I know all too well, right? And then I've been the person who've lived the experience, and I've also been the person I have the luxury of being the person who actually observed it at this point. So I know all too well, because for 6 years I've been mastering detachment. I've been working on detaching. So it's not easy for any girl to get next to me. Trust me. I say it all the time. I got girls I can call right now. They'll let you know, like, man, I've been trying to crack this nigga for 6 years. To no avail. Right? But I know with me and what the case is, when I reflect, right, I'm a lover boy. I fall easily. First day type shit. First sight. I can fall just like that. What I had to learn to do was to not do that. And that has been one of the most difficult lessons for me to learn. Also, I've learned over the years that I like intimacy, right? Since I'm a certain way, right? There are certain precautions I have to take. I have to really be careful and considerate when I'm talking to a female. I can no longer ignore my gut feeling or my inner spirit. When something or whatever the case is off, I trust it and I move accordingly. With that being said, also I had to sit back and reflect on my patterns. How things, how did past relationships initiate? What happened in the beginning? Was there sex involved? How soon did sex happen? This, that, and the third. I have to consider all that, and I have to make sure that I don't apply those same I don't apply those same those same things. Like they just can't happen for me like that. So I do my best, and my best way to avoid that, for one, is to not really give a female the fucking time of day. And I don't text back. I don't call, I won't be. If I do call, it'll be here and there, whatever the case. But I don't call. I'm damn sure not gonna be calling every day. I'm not gonna be spending a lot of time on the phone. And when I do make female friends, or we become like, let's just say we extend on some shit and we just decide to exchange numbers, what I make sure to do is to never invite them home. They never get invited over here. For one, when you look around, you see everything in my room, whatever the case is, like, it's just not the setting for it, right? I actually would much rather, right? I would much rather meet for lunch type shit. Can we have lunch and just, we could talk about anything, but we just don't need to really talk about anything personal as far as, like, how they feel about me or where the case is or where they want to take things. Because honestly, like, intimacy with me has to build. I have to literally grow onto, a person has to grow on me at this point. They can be attractive. They can be dropped down. They can just be dead ass attractive, right? A woman can just literally make my dick throb, right? But then I know better than to just I know better than to move off of that, right? If that makes any sense. I know better than to, and I don't pursue, but I know better than to entertain a woman strictly because, she excites me, right? Or just because I find her surface level attractive, meaning her looks and shit like that. Like, she's just attractive, appealing to the eye and stuff like that. I know better. I see cute, attractive bitches all the time. What I've learned to do, whatever the case is honestly not to look beyond that. And definitely we don't pursue here. Definitely, just I don't go after it. You can appreciate things. You can have a pretty woman in your presence, maybe giving you a little conversation, and you could just allow it to be that. It doesn't have to be anything deeper, anything further. There's nothing for me to investigate. Because that's the old way of, that was the old way of how I did things. I went after the girls I felt were attractive. And again, when I sit and reflect and I sit and think about that, and I look at all the things that didn't work out with with these girls, where the case is, I realize that's just something I can't do anymore. I shouldn't do it. But then ultimately, what I would learn is that in order for me to get to this point, I would have to really understand what lesson I needed to learn with a girl that I was with for 6 years, cheated on for 5 years, but we never had sex out of the 6 years we were together. I had to really learn what lesson I needed to learn from her in order to get to this point. What I would learn is in 2020, after the 2016 breakup, we had been together since 2010, but after the 2016 breakup, what I would learn in 2020 is that I needed to become her. I had to become that. I had to become her, but also I was going through a spiritual, the spiritual awakening actually happened in 2019. However, I was actually going into solitude in 2020 though. Right? But I was also going through another transition at that time too in 2020. And I couldn't even remember how to talk to a girl anymore. I at one point before the transition, before the spiritual awakening, I did. I would do what we call like spit game at girls, where the case is like go holler at them, cat call them, not cat call them. Don't do no weird shit like that. But I would actually pursue girls and shit like that. But once I had the awakening, I didn't know what was going on with me. I was just like, I just can't do it anymore. But what I would notice is a lot of girls, were the cases that I didn't go after, didn't pursue, whatever the case is, these girls were coming to me at this point, right? These girls were showing up to the crib unannounced. These girls were literally offering themselves to me. And at this point, I'm looking and I'm just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm not interested in giving them anything more than just conversation or offering some information to them. But I know the older version of me, the version that still exists, but it's just this other version, person number 2 is just not with it. Person number 1 would have took this shit. Not literally, but I would have actually, I would have went along with it. I would have pursued these girls. If they were trying to smash, I was with it. But not that 2020 version. He was not with it. And we get all the way to this point. I mean, I still have my thoughts about certain girls, right? I'm still a man. Sure, there's plenty of women like I want to lay down with, right? But my spirit won't let me do it. It won't let me pursue them, though. Even if I did pursue them, there's always some shit in the way. There's been girls who literally found their way to my doorstep, whatever the case is. And they've been in my room, but it wasn't till it's not like something that I necessarily I didn't organize it. I didn't do any of the sort. These chicks showed up due to their own circumstances, which were really outside of my control. Now, what was in my control was what I was going to do and what I could do with them once they were in my presence and they were in my realm. And I didn't do anything with them. There's been girls who slept in my bed and I slept on the opposite. I don't sleep at the head of my bed here. I sleep at the end of my bed. I never sleep at the head of my bed. Don't ask me why. That's just some shit I just do. So, but yeah, and these girls again, they'll tell you. They still text me, they still contact me here and there, where the case is, or I'll get random phone calls. And I'm just like, for a guy who don't text you, I don't call you, or whatever the case is, y'all call me like every other month or some shit like that. What is it that they want at this point? I know y'all deal with other men, right? No way you should still be contacting a guy, right? No way you should still be contacting a guy who's not even giving you the time of day. But the reality is, they will contact me. They have been contacting me. Some, they do ask. They'll get on the phone and, they'll pussyfoot around, tiptoe around, they'll tiptoe around like just wanting to, check on me, see how I'm doing, whatever the case is. And then they have their little subtle ways. Some of them are really direct and they'll be like, you want some pussy? Or something like that. And it's just same old. Like, I'll just be, I always find my way around it. I like having the conversations about sex, whatever the case is. Like, I love sex. I don't think anyone on this planet loves it more than me, right? And, that's just me being a guy. Like, I like looking at women, right? However, like, I'm not, and that person still exists though, but it's just like, I can't bring myself to just go after women like that. Why the fuck are we talking about this? The fuck did we get here? I don't know. I guess because it has something to do with Andrew, but ultimately it has something to do with Demi. I need to pour libations before I go into these discussions because nigga, do I just the spirits need they need to eat because boy I be tired. I just feel sleepy. Let's see what these niggas talking about. That fuck nigga play me on stream, nigga. Oh, Dennis is. I ain't even see Dennis over here. Oh, let me respond to Dennis real quick. Bet. Dennis wants to play Master Duel, so if he does decide to load up or wants to load up, whatever the case is, we're gonna play. But then I won't be able to see the chat, so you'll have to just bear with me through the duel. The duel can last. It can last up to 20, 15, 25 minutes. It all depends on how fast it goes. Roddy talks so much shit. He talking shit about light imprisoning mirror, but he used dark imprisoning mirror on me. The nerve. I hope Dennis let me know something soon. Where is he at? When did he send this? I don't know when he sent this. 11:45. I can't see when Dennis sent this message though. I'm still streaming, so hopefully he says something soon. Cause, yo, Lakeisha, what have you been up to? You in chat, Lakeisha, do not call me. She don't call the phone or nothing. Oh, that's right. She got niggas. She got a couple of niggas. They probably not niggas though. You know, Lakeisha like to swirl. That's the thing she into, chat. She like to swirl it up. Tired. Okay, I didn't hear nothing from Dennis, so Lakiki. Oh man, I'm getting off. I'll be back tomorrow. Man, where's Lakeisha? She ain't even talking in the chat. Boo. Typically, she participates and she interacts. Oops. What did I do? My bad. Look, Kiki, I'm finna get off here. I don't know where she at, but I'm finna get off here. She ain't saying nothing. But thanks y'all for tuning in. Streams will continue. Sorry about the little hiatus. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, I'll see y'all. I'm out.